The reverberations of King Charles's decision to strip his brother of all princely titles and dignities have now crossed the Atlantic. What began as a domestic royal reckoning has become a Commonwealth-wide question. What do we do with the legacy, the literal name of the man once known as Prince Andrew? In Canada, the calls for change are growing louder. Senator Tony Dean of Ontario has said that confidence in the royal family has been waning since the Queen's death, and that the allegations surrounding Andrew have been disastrous for the monarchy's image. His colleague, Senator Julie Milleville-Deschênes from Quebec, has gone further, calling for the immediate removal of Andrew's name from streets, schools and public sites. The sentiment is clear. Canada no longer wants to be reminded of a disgraced royal on its maps and signposts, and that's perfectly commendable. This has very real implications. In Ontario's Lakefield, the local council is now debating whether to rename Prince Andrew Island, a tiny patch of land once named in youthful optimism after the prince who had attended Lakefield College School in 1977. The mayor, Sherry Sennis, said residents were shocked to learn of the connection and that the matter had become a lot of controversy. Similar moves are underway in Caledon, where Prince Andrew Drive may soon lose its title, and in Toronto, St Catharines and Oak Bay, where streets still bear the former prince's name. This is not a new pattern. Prince Andrew High School in Nova Scotia was renamed in 2022 after parents protested that their children should not attend a school honouring a man accused of sexual abuse, allegations that he denies. A school's name should reflect its values, the principal said at the time. That phrase has now become the anthem of an international movement to erase traces of Andrew's public presence. It's like cleaning up after a dog. While Canada wrestles with its symbolic connections with its doggy bag, the United States is pursuing something altogether more direct. A congressional committee led by the Democrat Robert Garcia has formally requested that Andrew Mountbatten Windsor appear before them to answer questions about his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. 16 members of the House Oversight Committee have signed the letter, noting that Andrew's name appears on flight logs and correspondence linked to Epstein's private island. The letter was pointed in its phrasing. Rich and powerful men have evaded justice for too long. Mr. Mountbatten Windsor now has the opportunity to provide justice for the survivors. He has until November the 20th to respond. Of course, this could be a coded signal to other rich and powerful men in America, some of them who might have even inhabited the White House. And so it's not exclusive to Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. The problem, however, is jurisdiction. Congress cannot compel a British citizen to testify. The request is voluntary. Yet if he refuses, the optics are terrible. Silence looks like guilt. Compliance looks like self-incrimination. As one Washington commentator put it, he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. Meanwhile, the British royal family's calculus is becoming cleaner and clearer. By stripping him of his titles, King Charles has effectively distanced the institution from the individual, ensuring that any future legal or moral fallout attaches to Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, private citizen, not to Prince Andrew, Duke of York, member of the royal family. The timing of the American letter, arriving days after the formal removal of his HRH and Prince styles, was no coincidence. Congress was waiting until he could no longer shelter behind the crown. The Canadian debate and the American investigation both reveal the same truth. Monarchy and immunity are no longer synonymous. Commonwealth nations, once deferential, are now assertive in defining their own moral geography, and the United States, though Republican by design, still understands the political theatre of interrogating a fallen royal. At home, Andrew's world has collapsed. He's been evicted from Royal Lodge, his long-time home in Windsor Great Park, and he may move to Sandringham or possibly abroad. Some insiders suggest he could seek refuge in the Gulf, where his friendships are long-standing and press scrutiny limited. From scandals to sandals, as one royal commentator has rather archly quipped. Financially, his affairs. That word changes its meaning, doesn't it? Financially, his affairs are shrinking. I suppose not the only thing that's shrinking. His pitch at the palace global venture has seen its funds fall from over 200,000 to just 11,000, and his commercial network has largely dissolved. Sarah Ferguson, once his loyal defender, is now keeping her distance and her peace. Even his daughters, Princess Beatrice and Eugène has been out on the town, have relocated abroad to avoid the fallout. And yet, this is not merely a story about one man's disgrace. It's about institutional credibility. As the historian Andrew Lowney observed this week, the palace was complicit in attempts to shield Andrew from scrutiny. They need to come clean, apologise, and let full investigations take place. That includes both the Metropolitan Police and the National Crime Agency, and until that happens, public trust in the monarchy will remain under strain. In short, Andrew's disgrace has become a Commonwealth crisis. Streets in Ontario, hearings in Washington, silence in London all point to the same conclusion: the monarchy's survival now depends not on deference but on moral accountability and distance from the former Prince Andrew. If the King's decision was meant to cauterise the wound, it may only have revealed how deep it runs and how much the maggots have to feed. As Senator Dean warned, it's not surprising that there's a push to change things. The overseas ripples of this story may yet become a tidal wave of destruction.